All right, just so you know, I come in peace. See, one thing I've come to realize is this. No matter how wonderful your idea is, no matter how great, how good, how nice your idea would be, trust me, there are people or group of persons that would fight against those kind of ideas, that would fight against your idea, that will never ever succumb to your idea, in as much as it is coming from you, or no matter how wonderful it is, even when they don't know you, they will fight it. But do you know that in the same manner, no matter how stupid your idea could be, no matter how uneducated it could be, no matter how foolish the idea would be, trust me, there are still people who will stand by you in that stupidity. There are still people who will believe you to the marrow. Say, yes, so now here we did. Now take for instance, let me give you one that actually happened that kept me thinking last year, towards the end of last year. How many of us remember the story of Ebo Noah of Ghana? The man who just woke up and said he's building an ark like a Noah in the Bible. And he said the world is coming to an end on the 25th of December 2025. Do you know that on hearing it, I just felt, this guy needs some critical brain evaluation. But lo and behold, do you know that some persons even sold their properties to go to Ghana and to stay in the what's it called, in his ark side? Like, I just got thinking, no matter how stupid an idea is, trust me, there are people that will fly with it. Some sold their properties, and you could, if you watch the video, you will see the numbers of people that came that day in preparation of the world coming to an end. Like, come on. So that goes to say that no matter how wonderful your idea is, some people will not buy that idea. Some people will not take that idea. And some people will accept the idea. And no matter how stupid your idea is, my brother, some people will buy it. Why some will not just take it because they know it's stupid? Why some people will swallow it hook, line, and sinker? They will not even think about it. Even when they don't know you, for not just read, they just believe it. Brah. Do you know that as you are thinking that one stupid thing, there's somebody somewhere that is thinking that the same stupid thing? So the thinking, the thought will not be, there will not be a sort of a form of alignment in stupidity. Yes. Alignment, because, like, come to think of it. Let that Ebo Noah case, let's come to think of it. How would you just believe in your right senses that one man, okay, will just build an ark that will accommodate the people that, and guess what? People will pay money. People will pay money. Same thing is applicable to governance. Same thing is applicable to governance. No matter how good a government in office is, there are people or group of persons that would honestly, in their heart of hearts, dislike the government of the day. Honestly, and they'll be giving you some reasons. No matter how good the government is, they'll give you reason that will even shake your convictions. Then no matter how bad the government is, there are people that will still say, now the government be this, now our government be this. Even when they have nothing to gain. You know, it will be normal when, like, for in this current dispensation, in this current Nigeria, in Nigeria today, I think it will be normal when you see people who are politicians singing on your mandate we shall stand. When you see politicians singing on your mandate we shall stand, I think it will be normal because they are gaining from it. When you see a card-carrying member of APC singing on your mandate. Yeah, I wouldn't want to question that person at all, because I know, okay, now anywhere belle face na front. This is what pays him. This is what put food on his table. This government profits him. But you know that you will be so surprised to see a man who is suffering, lavishing in poverty, that is finding it difficult to have just 2 meals in a day, will still begin to tell you on your mandate. It is amazing how human being thinks. It is amazing how human being thinks. You know, like, it is amazing how man was created and how man think. No matter how crazy, how brutal, how unethical the idea is, people would buy it. Just push it out. So now I charge you this day. Always use your head, not your mind. Use your head, not your mind. Use your head. Do not use emotions. Think. Critically evaluate things. Think. Think very well. And because you have a lot of persons applauding you for that thing you are doing, doesn't mean you are doing the right thing. So bro, calm down and think very well. Think before you do or before you take any actions. You see, like I told somebody, I said sometimes the problems are not with our politicians 100%. The problems are with the friends and the people that surround them. Their special advisor, their cabinet, people that surround them. Trust me, your president, in as much as he's the president of Nigeria, it has changed his status. He's not an average man anymore. He's not the type that we go to market and begin to say, they happen for you. No, he's the president. That's why the way the presidency is structured, we have advisor, we have Senate, we have the House of Rep, and then we have the judiciary. All these institutions were created for check and balance. But how is it functioning now? The advisors to the president will not tell the president the truth because they are scared of losing their job. And sometimes some of these presidents would want to hear the truth. And it is what the advisor bring to them, they fake. See, like in Edo State now, we have a governor in Edo State who he listens to the people around him too much. And the honest truth is, are they telling him the truth? People around you, people around our leaders are the problems Nigeria is facing, not exactly the leader. Because many of them will go to the leader, they will not speak the fact, they will just say things to win favor in the sight of that leader, instead of saying things the way they are. We have a lot of persons who will sing praises, who will clap, who will dance and call you names in as much as they are getting something from it. They don't care. If you fail tomorrow, they move to the next person. A lot of the persons that are in the Okpewolo government now, shouting Okpewolo up, down, left, right, and center. Some of them were in Obaseki government. And these are the same people that were hailing Obaseki. I know a gentleman that sang, Oga carry ticket go. Oga carry ticket go. Anywhere Obaseki they Edo people there today, that same young man is in the side of Okpewolo, condemning Obaseki. Calling Obaseki what? Betrayer. And in the heart of Okpewolo now, he will be thinking that, oh, I have people around me. Yes, now maybe the man. Yes, I am good. Wait, Oga Okpewolo, may you come out for office, then you will know. People don't like you because you are good. People like you because of what they can get from you and how they can manipulate you to get things from you. So most of the times the problem is not with the leaders 100%. Though our leaders have their own problems. But the people around the leader. Now let me end with this. Remember, it's a common saying that when corruption favor you, you go call that connection. But when you don't favor you, you they shout corruption here and there. You see people that are quick to say this person is corrupt, this person is corrupt. They are the most corrupt people. They are paid because they are not in that shoe. People that are quick to say this person is corrupt, they are the most corrupt. I remember when we were in, what was it called? Labour Party. Because of Obi, we moved to Labour Party then, which is a story for another day. It's a story. I'll share my experience in Labour Party some other day. We moved to Labour Party. Guess what? Many a times I will now begin to ask them, come, check out this bad thing where they the other party, where make us come up for those other party. Now we can't they do for here. People that are calling other leaders corrupt. These people, they are thief. Put money, put things for their hand. You can't begin to see. I was really, really disappointed. That was when I got to learn about people properly. So my dear, let me just end it here till we meet again. In whatsoever you are doing, the better way to evaluate whether you are doing well or not is not by the amount of people clapping for you. Settle down, think, critically evaluate, and do not use emotions while thinking. Use reasonings to come to a reasonable conclusion. Oh yeah, now remember the name is MC Prudent. I'll see you on the next one. Use your head. Always. Okay?